Are you ready to dive into an epic journey through time and mythology? Prepare to uncover the secrets of one of the most intriguing noble phantasms in history, the Age of Babylon. But before we reveal its mysteries, let me ask you this. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to have the power to create legendary weapons with nothing but the force of your will? Once upon a time, in the ancient lands of Mesopotamia, where the Euphrates River wound its way through cities of golden bricks and hanging gardens, legend was born. A legend about a being created by the gods, neither man nor woman, but an entity of pure clay and unlimited potential. This being was Enkidu, companion of the legendary king Gilgamesh and bearer of one of the most fascinating noble phantasms ever conceived, Age of Babylon. But what exactly is the Age of Babylon? Imagine having at your fingertips the knowledge and skill of all the artisans who have ever existed. Now, multiply that by the ability to transform that knowledge into tangible reality in a matter of seconds. That's how Enkidu's noble phantasm works. The Age of Babylon is not just an ability, it is a testament to the collective wisdom of humanity. It's as if the entire history of human creation is condensed into a single being. With a simple touch to the ground, Enkidu can conjure weapons of unmatched perfection, each one a masterpiece representing the pinnacle of human craftsmanship. Think about it. Swords as sharp as the very essence of the wind, spears capable of piercing the clouds, and chains that could bind destiny itself. Each weapon created by Enkidu is not just a combat tool, but a piece of art, physical representation of humanity's evolution through the ages. But the true power of the Age of Babylon goes beyond simple weapon creation. It is an ability that defies the limits of time and technology. Enkidu, in their essence, is a timeless being, able to adapt to any era in which they are summoned. This means that the weapons Enkidu can create are not limited to ancient swords and spears. Imagine Enkidu being summoned in the modern day. Possibilities are breathtaking. State-of-the-art firearms, advanced artillery systems, maybe even technologies we have yet to dream of. The Age of Babylon is a direct reflection of human progress, evolving alongside our own civilization. But with great power comes great responsibility, and the use of the Age of Babylon is not without consequences. Each weapon created, each manifestation of this incredible power consumes a part of Enkidu's own essence. It's as if each creation is sculpted directly from Enkidu's clay body, bringing them ever closer to their most basic form. Imagine the drama and tension of a battle where each strike, each conjured weapon, brings Enkidu closer to their limit. It's a delicate dance between power and survival, where each decision can mean the difference between victory and total defeat. And speaking of epic battles, have you heard of the legendary duel between Enkidu and Gilgamesh? Two titans of mythology, face to face, in a combat that made the heavens tremble. On one side, Gilgamesh with his Gate of Babylon, capable of unleashing an infinite arsenal of legendary weapons. On the other, Enkidu, matching each strike with the Age of Babylon, creating weapons in the heat of battle, counter the king's fury. Imagine the spectacle. The sky darkened by thousands of weapons, the ground shaking with the impact of each blow. Enkidu, tireless, turning the battlefield into their personal forge, while Gilgamesh exhausted his infinite treasury. It was a battle that lasted days, testing the limits not just of the combatants, but of reality itself. But the Age of Babylon is not just about destruction in combat. At its core, it is a celebration of human creativity and ingenuity. Each weapon created by Enkidu is a testament to what humanity can achieve, tangible proof of our ability to turn ideas into reality. And here is a question to ponder. If you had the power of the Age of Babylon, what would you create? What mark would you leave on the world? The beauty of the Age of Babylon lies in its versatility. Enkidu is not limited to creating weapons alone. Their ability to transform allows them to take the form of practically any object. Imagine Enkidu transforming into an impenetrable shield to protect an ally or a powerful bow to launch arrows with divine precision. This flexibility makes Enkidu an invaluable ally and a formidable adversary. In one moment, they can be a sharp spear cutting through enemy defenses. In the next, a powerful axe felling obstacles. It's like having an entire army concentrated in a single being. But the true magic of the Age of Babylon is not just in its raw power, but in the wisdom it represents. Each weapon, each form that Enkidu assumes, carries with it the accumulated knowledge of generations of artisans, warriors, and thinkers. It's as if, through Enkidu, the entire history of humanity comes to life. Think about the stories each weapon could tell. The sword that might have been forged in the forges of Damascus, carrying the secrets of Damascus steel. The bow that might have been carved by the skilled hands of Mongolian archers, capable of hitting a moving target from hundreds of meters away. Each creation is a window into a different aspect of human history. And we cannot forget the unique nature of Enkidu. Created by the gods as an androgynous being, Enkidu challenges our preconceived notions of gender and form. This fluidity is not just physical but extends to the very essence of the Age of Babylon. It's a reminder that human creativity and ingenuity transcend categories and limitations. But with all this power, an intriguing question arises. How does the Age of Babylon compare to other legendary noble phantasms? One could argue that in its versatility and adaptability, it surpasses many others. After all, what other ability allows its user to create virtually any weapon or tool imaginable, perfectly adapting to any situation or era? It's fascinating to think about how the Age of Babylon could manifest in different historical contexts. Imagine Enkidu being summoned during the Industrial Revolution. What mechanical wonders could they create? Or think of Enkidu at the height of the space age, perhaps creating technologies capable of challenging the very stars. The Age of Babylon reminds us that humanity's true power does not lie in our weapons or tools, but in our ability to create, adapt, and evolve. It is a mirror of our own journey as a species, reflecting our rise from simple stone tools to today's technological marvel. But with all this power at one's disposal, a crucial ethical question arises. How should this power be used? The Age of Babylon, in the wrong hands, could be a force of unimaginable destruction. But in the right hands, it could be an unparalleled instrument of creation and protection. And here we come to a fascinating point: the relationship between Enkidu and Gilgamesh. Two beings of unimaginable power, one created by the gods, the other born a demigod. Their friendship, celebrated in one of the oldest known literary works, the Epic of Gilgamesh, takes on a new dimension when we consider their respective noble phantasms. Gilgamesh's Gate of Babylon, an infinite treasure of all the weapons and artifacts ever created by humanity, seems at first glance to be superior. After all, how could creation surpass the original? But that's where the beauty of the Age of Babylon reveals itself. While Gilgamesh has access to a finite, though vast treasure, Enkidu has the potential to create the infinite. It's almost poetic to think that while Gilgamesh represents the pinnacle of what humanity has already achieved, Enkidu represents the unlimited potential of what we can still create. It's a reminder that no matter how impressive our past achievements are, the future always holds even greater possibilities. But let's return for a moment to the mechanics of the Age of Babylon. The fact that using this ability consumes Enkidu's own essence adds a fascinating layer of strategy and drama to any confrontation. Each weapon created is a gamble, a sacrifice. Enkidu must constantly balance the power of their creations with the need to preserve their own existence. This leads us to a profound reflection on the concept of sacrifice. How much are we willing to give of ourselves for our creations? What is the price of power and creativity? Enkidu, in their essence, personifies these questions. And we cannot ignore the profound symbolism behind the nature of the Age of Babylon. Clay, the basic material from which Enkidu is made and from which they create their weapons, is deeply significant. In Mesopotamian mythology, humans were created from clay. Thus, each creation of Enkidu is, in essence, an echo of humanity's own creation. This brings us to an intriguing question. Could the Age of Babylon be a way for Enkidu to create humanity? Each weapon, each object they form, carries not only power, but also the essence of what it means to be human. Our creativity, our ingenuity, our ability to shape the world around us. As we approach the end of this journey through the Age of Babylon, we can't help but marvel at the depth and complexity of this noble phantasm. It is more than a simple ability to create weapons. It is a manifestation of the human spirit itself, our capacity to create, adapt, and overcome. The Age of Babylon challenges us to think beyond limits, to imagine possibilities that go beyond what we know. It reminds us that, Like Enkidu, we all have the potential to create wonders, to shape the world around us with our ideas and action. And so we reach the end of our exploration of this fascinating noble phantasm. But before we conclude, let me leave you with one final question, one that might echo in your mind long after you finish this video. If you could create anything with no limits of time or technology, what would it be? And more importantly, what mark would that creation leave on the world?